Oh. Let Mr. Beast deal with it later on. I cut that all off. Welcome to the latest live stream. I'm sorry, I was talking to my support crew that is non-existent here. Sorry we're running a little late. Welcome. I'm so glad you've been able to be here. That really caught me a little bit off guard. It's so cool to see everyone in the chat room. And you know what? We're only 5 minutes late. We've done a lot worse like that. But you know what? They say the show must go on. For all of you who don't know who I am, my name's Gil. Run the Laser live streams and YouTube channel, I guess. And I'm just feeling a little kind of out of sorts because I found out just recently that a lot of these YouTubers, it used to be YouTube, express yourself or publish yourself. It's now YouTube. Do it with a whole lot of support team. And today I got caught out because I didn't have one, but that's okay. We are here. It's all very cool. How's everyone doing? I see lots and lots of people in the chat room, and I'm trying something a little different here. And yeah, bit of a bigger screen. Let me know if you like it. Usually it's a little bit like that. You can see my incredibly messy room. You can see a few other things here. Playing around with a little bit of lights and all the rest of it, and just trying to do. You see, look, you can see my microphone. You don't normally see that either. So just doing a few little bits and pieces. But let's go over straight. I've got a new layout here, so I've got to be careful which buttons I press. But going to the chat room, I see all these lovely laserologists all here hanging out with me. Let's go. I didn't even get a chance to really see who's in here and say hello to everyone. So let's go do roll call, right? Let's go. And first of all, we've got John. John saying hello. He's the first one in. First one, best dressed, as they say, which is great to see you. Also, we've got Audrey, who helped me out in the background, just sending you guys a message to let you know we're running a little late. We've also got the amazing Cheeks in the Philippines, who amazing guy who's also learning all about lasers. I hope you're doing okay there, Cheeks. It's got to be a little warmer where you are. Today here in Australia, for whatever reason, it's the winter solstice. This is the longest night of the year for us. It is so cold. It is so chilly that I think my camera might not overheat. It is that bad. I see Adrian, founding laserologist, comes in saying good night, good evening, not good night, good evening to everyone, as well as Stuart, who is also just one of those founding members, and it's just always a pleasure to see his work and always see him coming in. What else have we got here? We got Mike. Mike's here as well, all the way from sunny, and I'm hoping warm Queensland. Let me know in the chat room if it's still warm, Mike. Who else is here? We've got Zoolander Androponics, who came in last time on the Laser live stream. He was a brand new laserologist. He returned, and he's actually sharing with us that he's still waiting for his Sculpt Fun S10 to be delivered. Hopefully you'll get that soon. I don't know about you guys, but I've had a lot of problems with a lot of deliveries. I actually ordered some equipment to help me with the live stream, and found out that according to what's it called? According to I don't want to say the name of the company because they're an international company, but according to the tracking information, it was delivered at 4:38 a.m. 4 days after I bought it from an international seller who was in another country. So I got a feeling that didn't get sent out at all. But I'll work that out. It's not a problem. So I'm hoping you guys have a lot better luck with your laser. I'm sure it'll turn up there. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you create, Zululand. Who else is around? Who did we not? Adrian's got a 5-hour burn. He's sharing with us. 5-hour burn. I remember those days. They were awesome. And of course, we've got some of Adrian's work coming up really soon. We've also got the one and the only Dominic, who's coming in all the way from Darkly Labs. We'll talk about Darkly Labs really soon. It's good to see Dom in the room as well. And there you go, Darkly Labs here. It's good. We went through, we spoke about why we call it. No, actually we haven't. Guys, tell me in the room, did we discuss why Darkly Labs is called Darkly Labs? Maybe that's something we'll do today. We'll see. I think we did ask Dominic about it. He said we'll come back another time and do it. So we'll see what's going on there. And who else is around? There we go. We got Derek, my good friend Derek, who's also in New South Wales. Derek, good to see you, my friend. Derek and I knew each other when we were makers, and I believe he's working with lasers now, so it's awesome to see. And of course, the one and the only Commander Koenig coming all the way from Japan. It is awesome to see you, my friend. I hope everything's going well. Mark Bigwood. Now, Mark's coming all the way from the UK. I believe that's a new name, which means Mark is a laserologist, and he's a laserologist because he's come in live. In fact, even if you're watching this as a replay, you are part of our community, and we'll talk all about that in a second. Why this project even began, what it is that we're going to do. Mark, really good to meet you. Love it in the chat. If you could go in the chat room and tell me what kind of laser you are using, and also the stuff that you are creating, because it's always interesting to see what's going on with new people and where you're at, what kind of projects you're doing. That is one of the reasons why we do the laser live stream and the community. And Becca's coming all the way from California. She's telling us it's super hot. Can you send us some of that here? It is freezing down here. It is really, we are in the middle of winter, and I gotta be honest with you, this is like a really thick shirt, and I'm freezing. So it's kind of weird. It really is. But it's good to see everyone. I'm sure more people will join us. We're going to talk about a few interesting things. Might even have a guest. Oh, look at that. Now, I'm going to get this name wrong because I am terrible with names. But I'm going to say, is it Celio? Am I pronouncing it correct? Please let me know. Celio is coming all the way from Portugal. I think you're the first laserologist from Portugal. Welcome. You are the latest laserologist here. And you're using a Sculptifun S9 and Lightburn. Well, we love Lightburn here. A lot of the stuff that we do is with Lightburn. It changed my life the way I'm using a laser. So I'm really glad to hear that's going on. Mark's also sharing with us that he has 2 atom stacks. And he does a whole lot of sign and artwork, which I'm hoping both of you will come and join us on the Facebook group so you can actually post some of the examples of the work that you have. It's kind of cool. And of course, the one and the only Malcolm. Malcolm, I didn't think you were going to be here, so I appreciate it. Thank you for coming live. I know that you were doing a whole bunch of stuff with your family and other commitments, so it's awesome to see you there. And I almost missed him. How could I miss this person? Peter's coming all the way and telling us that it's 30 degrees. Well, it's not degrees, it's Celsius, 30 Celsius where he is. I'm going to say Norway. Probably got it all wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is Norway. It is cold, man. Either way, I hope everything's going well with you, Peter. It's good to see you too, my friend. It is always fun to hang out with everyone. Lots of new faces as well here. Zululand telling us that he's coming all the way from South Africa and asking if any other South Africans are here. Shout out if you are. That's not a problem. And Malcolm is also letting us know. Netherlands. I see. I get it. I got it wrong again? Man, I'm going to write a note. I got to write a note. I always love it when I'm kerfuffled like this. It is kind of weird, but everyone's welcome. Let's move on and go through all the things that we go through so we can get to the meat of the laser live stream. But first of all, we do have to thank these 2 companies for sponsoring the stream, both Darkly Labs, home of the Emblazer range, an amazing diode laser that you can use in your office or classroom. Go check them out. They are awesome. I also want to thank Lightburn Software. Of course, if you are using a laser and you haven't checked out Lightburn software, I guess Lightburn is laser software. You can do so at lightburnsoftware.com. Go get a trial. Go check it out. Understand why I get so excited about that sort of stuff. For those of you who are new, welcome to the community. It's not just about this live stream. We are supporting everyone on their laser journey. And I like to set these intentions out for every live stream, not just for the live stream, but also for the community. What are we doing here? Why is it happening? Well, our first intention is just to build a creative, interactive laser community with as many people as possible, because that leads into our second intention with the community, and that is just to support all laser users. I don't care what you're using. You can use a laser diode, you can use a CO2 laser, a fiber laser, a laser pointer, a CD laser, a laser, lightsaber. I don't care what it is. We are here to support and learn together, which happens to also be the third intention, which is to share knowledge with everyone. We love it when we are working with everyone and seeing not only what you can produce, but also what can be shared. By sharing the knowledge, we are stronger together than we are apart. And in fact, I might keep that in mind because I want to talk about that with our guest. And our fourth intention is just to learn from everybody. Everyone has something amazing to contribute, especially in the laser stream. Whether you're a maker, use lasers or anything else, it is an amazing thing to be able to create something and then share that with an audience, and not just an audience, but also see what they bring to it as well. So that's definitely what we intend, and I believe we are creating is a really strong and supportive group of laserologists. That's what we call ourselves, right? Now, you might be going, that sounds really cool, Gil, but how do I get involved? Well, I'll sort of share that with you too. If this is your first time here, do me a big favor, go down to the right bottom hand corner. You'll see a little subscribe button with me looking incredibly lost. No, I'm going to say handsome. And hit that subscribe button. That helps out big time because YouTube is all about data. And when it comes to a whole lot of people watching this content, it just allows those AI algorithms to understand that this is a subject that people are interested in. And part of that is also to be able to chat. The difference between the videos that I create and the live stream is that in the live stream, you guys are all having a live conversation with me, and I love to interact with all of you. If you happen to be watching this as a repeat or a replay, or for whatever reason you don't know why, or you don't know how to get onto YouTube or whatever it is, you can still be a part of the show by using the email laser.livestream@gmail.com. We love to get emails. We also have the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/laserlivestream. We all hang out there as well in between the live streams, sharing what we know, sharing the examples. I'm looking forward to the day where I can actually, you guys can share examples of your work live with me. We also have a Instagram and a Twitter, and we're using the Laser live stream handle on that. So guys, if that's something that you want to do, all the links are below. And I also want to share with you that if you like not only these live stream, but also the channel in general, if we've been able to help you, if we've been able to teach you something that might have helped your workflow, or you just enjoy coming on here and sharing the community and the vibe and learning a little bit about lasers, you can help two ways. If you're here live, in the chat rooms, you can drop what they call a super chat. That's a donation that goes through YouTube. They take their piece, I take mine, and that also helps with the algorithm getting the word out about what we're doing here. Or in the description below, there is a one-time donation link to PayPal. And everything that comes in is not only incredibly appreciated, but it actually humbles me. And we take all of that and return that back into the live stream or the laser work. So it could be simply buying material so that I can show you guys another process, or getting some equipment to kind of level this up, which is what I did this last week, and we lost it, but we're going to get that back. That kit's going to get here one way or another. So guys, I just wanted to be able to share that with you. And I've got Zululand also saying, smash those likes, people. I love that. If you could go in there and also hit that like button, that also helps. All of this helps big time. And I see Michael coming in all the way from New South Wales. Michael, is this your first time here? If so, welcome. You're a brand new laserologist. Love meeting new people. It is really, really good to be able to meet new people who are interested in the same thing. You probably just missed all the preamble about the community, but do me a favor, go down and join our Facebook group so that we can keep this conversation going in between. I'd love to see your work as well, and I'll wait for your answer in the chat room. Malcolm, not a problem. You've got to go. I know family is more important. That's okay. I'm with you there too. So you know what? Just enjoy, and I'm sure you'll catch us on the flip side. It's great to see you, my friend. I'm really glad you were able to come on board. All right. Wow. Take a breath, Gil. Whew. I'm telling you, it's one of those days. So what are we doing? What's going on here today? Let's go through everything. Everything. It's kind of weird. Everything. I'm telling you, those days that the tech stuff doesn't work before I go live, I get a little bit on that high. But we're going to talk about what we're going to go and discuss today. Today we've got first up the Laserologist Showcase. Let me say that again. Laserologist Showcase. And of course there we're going to go through and discuss. What are we going to discuss? We're going to show examples of work. Gil, get it right. Then we're going to go and we're going to do talk about the resting surfaces for lasers. Now, this is a take two because our special guest wasn't able to make it last time. So I believe they're going to come and join us very soon. And then we're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of material, which is an interesting segment. What am I saying? It's very interesting. We're going to go and we're going to discuss a different material that you may use in your laser. We're going to see if it's good. We're going to see if it's bad. We're going to see if it's ugly. And you know what? I've got to be, because of our technical thing, I'm going to see right here if we can get our guest. Look at that. I'm getting laser flash right here. Kind of crazy. But I am going to, let's see if we can get this going. I've got to do this live because it seems that our very, very famous, or a very famous application changed a few things. Did change a few things on us last minute. And what we realized was we couldn't get things going. So I'm hoping, let's see if we can do this. I'm buying time. This is called stretching in TV. I'm stretching. Boy, am I stretching. Let's see what's going on there. All right. So I've got half of it going on. I believe we are in. Let me go and see. And Dominic. Oh, you are there. That worked.
Hey.
And the audio worked. Oh my gosh, I was holding my fingers. You know what? It's terrible. I should introduce you this way. Guys, our guest is Dominic, director of Darkly Labs. How you doing, Dom? Let me get you on the two shot there. I was like, this isn't gonna work. This is not gonna work, is it? And I was like, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. But there you go.
It's nothing like a last minute technical glitch, right?
Man, you know what? In some ways, it kind of amps me up for the whole, the whole thing, which is kind of good. But at the same time, it's like, damn, I couldn't have worked that out like 3 minutes or 20 minutes beforehand. It kind of does throw you a bit, but we were able to work it through. I think I'm going to have to throw a few bones at that server, so I don't have to worry that again. A few people are saying, welcome to you, but they're also saying, you're a bit fuzzier, man. He has a bit fuzzy. Look at you, you're rivaling me for the grays on the beard, man.
I'm trying to save on razor blades. You know how it is. They're quite expensive these days.
And look at this. Look at this, brothers. We're brothers. Kind of crazy. And
hey, can I just say?
Sure.
Can I take 20 seconds? I know Malcolm's left.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm going to give you the. Yep, go for it. The floor. Okay, hang on a sec. Wait. I screwed that up. Wait a second. Your audio, I'm getting sound problems. So give me a second here. I'm sorry, guys. As I said, that was the tech. Give me 1 second. Dom's here. What he was saying was wonderful. I heard all about it. Let me just get you back on here, Dom, and let me get you your audio. Give me 1 second. This is almost, but that's not the one. Give me a second here. Wow, why is this not working? Because, that's what happens. And let me see if I can do it this way, and then this way, and then this way. Dominic, give it a shot now.
Okay.
We're there. All right.
Hey, so look, really quickly, I just wanted to special thank you to Malcolm Lee. He was part of the show we attended last week in Queensland.
Awesome.
Data QLD. It's based around technology and teachers and education. And he was just awesome. He looked after us. He even came in and gave a little bit of a talk during our workshop. So Malcolm, thank you so much. We'll be back again next year.
You know what? I think Mal would have loved to. I'm sure he'll catch it on the flip side. He actually messaged me and told me that he had a family commitment and he wasn't going to come at all.
Yeah.
So it was great to be able to see him. I know that he reached out to me too, and unfortunately, I'm just not in a situation to be able to go and attend. But I'm glad you guys were there and that you were representing at least. Mal's a great guy anyway. So I have no doubt that he was probably more excited to have you up there than anything else that was going on.
He's a prolific maker. Like every time he walked past, he'd pull out his phone and he'd show me 3 or 4 different things he made. It's like, where do you get the time for all this? But he's really cool. Thank you again.
A very dedicated teacher as well. So, it was great to be able to have those opportunities to be able to see what is possible in that space. And I know that that's something that we've discussed many. Oh, good. I got the flash off. Man, it's always technical issues when some of these things happen because we were setting it up. But I'm glad that you were able to do that and everyone can hear us. Dom, normally when I have guests, I wait a little bit longer to introduce them. But Well, before we go forward, do you want to explain what's going on behind you?
What? These are all the rules that we have to tell our staff, because all these things have come up at some point. So
Really?
yeah, we've just had to put a few rules. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I like the
That's
little.
just a
I didn't
fun,
see the
that's just a
alien
fun
head
thing.
that's just by your shoulder. That's awesome. That little alien head.
I watched this show a while ago. It was called Zero Theorem.
Okay.
It's a film, and it's like a utopian kind of world. And they go to a park, and the park has got all these things you shouldn't do. So I thought, that could be kind of fun. Put it up in the background.
Awesome, man.
But yeah, it was kind of fun to put together.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, it's interesting. I mean, I'm looking forward to be able to go through it. But I see there's an abduction one behind your head. There's playing video games. There's no golfing. It must be a fun place to work in at Darkly Labs. It's like, don't breathe. No, it's like, work harder. Get those machines out. No, it's all good. But Dom, let's jump in and let's take a look at some of the examples of some of the work that has happened in the last 2 weeks. One of the things that I absolutely love when it comes to the community in general. So our first example happens to be from Dor. I love Dor's work for so many different reasons, but he really is concentrating on making laser tiles and then using alcohol-based inks to be able to go and actually create kind of almost this colored look. And I saw these and I thought to myself, wow, every time he shares his results, these look like almost like an early lithophane or printing process. You would almost think that they weren't coming out of a laser. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Even the fish with the kind of pink gills and scales, again, that's almost those early kind of 1900 books that were colorized. The idea of when they used to paint or put what do you call it? They put ink onto the presses. I'm being told that they don't hear you, Dom. Hang on a second. I'm going to take care of that as well. Damn it. It's only about me, guys. It's only about me. But I can fix that as well. Dom's with us now. But yeah, they're amazing tiles. I love this process. It's almost like a modification of that kind of manual painting onto a press, but instead of that, it's obviously after you've actually lasered the tile.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like we said, like that image just totally reminds me of a Disney cell.
Yeah.
The water. It's got a lot of there's a lot of action in the image, which is really just, it blows me away how he does that.
Yeah, no, Dor does amazing work, and it's almost every 2 weeks there's something new that he's explored and he's developed, and it's amazing work. So it's cool. Everyone's saying they couldn't hear you, but I believe that he can hear you now. It's like, I've got to make sure the software that I use, unfortunately, you've got to keep adding in audio on each scene, which is a bit of a bummer, but we'll see what's going on. I'm probably gonna have to do this one too, but that's okay. No, that's all right. No, I lost him too. This is Corey's. Corey's got a brand new laser. I believe it might be a Sculptifun or a he's got a diode laser, and he was trying to get this logo onto a what do they call it? Like a barrel, and you can see there. Yep. He's done multiple ones. I know that he was not so happy about the result and actually asked the question, how do you stop smoke coming from the material, which lent me to think that maybe the wood wasn't as dry as he was hoping, but that's still a pretty decent result.
Yeah, can you you can hear me, right, Gil?
I can, and so can everyone else.
So a couple of, I mean, I don't mind that smokiness coming off the design. It just adds to the character of it. But a couple of things that come to mind is that you could turn the burn down. So he's got quite a solid, strong burn. So he could probably turn it down a little bit and not go as deep. The other common way is to use an air assist. That'll help you a lot. And the last one is to use some masking on your wood. So a lot of people like to use blue tape or something like that, and they mask the material and then burn away and remove the mask, so it leaves the unlasered sections
It protects
clean.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a few ways of doing it.
We were talking about that last laser live stream. It's kind of accessories that you might have that you wouldn't think are laser accessories, and one of them is masking tape. For that very reason, there's still a protection for the area of material that you're not actually dealing with, but because laser energy is basically light energy, all those photons going in one direction can get very, very hot. Masking tape definitely helps that out. But I still think as a first project that looked great.
Yeah, it looked good. I like the burn. I think it added to it.
Well, I mean, if that's your starting kind of mark, now it's all about refining, understanding what those settings do, and just dialing it in. Our next example comes from Gil. I'm not sure. I hate. I'm so bad at names for people that I know. This was an interesting project. This is actually acrylic, and what's going on here is that give me 1 second. I'm just going to put Dom back in. He's created a cigarette case, but we actually have a working video of that. I mean, the detail of the engrave here is pretty awesome. But check this out.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. So it actually flicks open. There you go. And you can see it's kind of like this integrated case. I'm going to go back to the actual solid. So the images first. It's really interesting in this sort of stuff. Peter's saying that it looks better than the first one he did. I don't know if this is a design that's actually out there and people are around that or not, but it is kind of cool to be able to see what, this idea of a kind of automated catch system. Personally, I don't know about you, Dom. I don't smoke, but I like that idea of like having a small container that you can personalize and then just kind of use a grasp system and have the material itself spring back.
You can use that for business cards, for whatever. I'm wondering if he engraved the design on the underside of the acrylic so that it's the top is really smooth and shiny. It won't rub off. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether he did engraved it on the inside.
Right. That's a really good point. I'm not too sure. Hopefully maybe he's not with us live, but maybe on the replay, Drew can actually explain to us his process. And I definitely know that he posted this up on the Facebook group, so we can definitely check out what is going on there in the sense of asking questions, which is why I love the Facebook group so much. But it is still that the camel picture and logo is really crisp. So he's really dialed that in very, very well.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Absolutely. Our next piece of work comes from Chris. I like this because it works out where Chris is. There is a new law about little batteries, little button batteries that aren't allowed to be accessed by children because children have a habit of swallowing these things. And what ends up happening is that they end up burning their soft tissue and it can cause lots of problems. So Chris has actually made all these warning signs to go into different places to allow people not only to realize that this is an issue, but also what to do. And you know me, I'm all about safety. Sure. Hang on a second. Sorry, guys. I just realized Dom's talking and stupid me. There you go, Dom. Go for it. Sorry, pal.
Okay. No, that's okay. I like this because we don't really see too much use of these laminated plastics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people know what they are. It's like a base plastic with a very thin layer on top of it, and you can have different colors. So you can have, in this case, it looks like a brown background or black and yellow on top, and you just engrave away the top coating. and you can make some very interesting signs, lots of signage, lots of different tags, lots of things. It's a really, really interesting material.
Yeah, that's something that I'm hoping to talk to some of the suppliers out there, not just about the material that, but also introduce that sort of material to a wider audience. It'd be awesome because there's some amazing stuff. I've shown before on some of the live streams that I used some of that material to make ID plates for Star Trek phases when I actually
Yep.
copied the exact way that they were actually creating that. So, you know, that's an incredible tool that I think a lot of people as a material aren't aware that you can get it in a whole bunch of range of colors. You can get it in a whole bunch of thicknesses. There's some really kind of cool stuff out there. There you go. Dom's showing his director
That's
sign.
on the back. Someone made that for
Hang
me.
on a second.
Sorry.
Let me just, yep. Now people can see.
So someone made that's out of the same material.
Yep. Just go
Um,
away and leave me alone. That's,
yeah, it's really, really neat and engraves really nicely. It actually has a real tactile feel to it because you take the top layer off and
yep.
so yeah, really cool. I love to see more of this getting used.
Well, I think that there's a real opportunity, and it's not just about signage. You can get some really amazing artwork out of that. So that's really cool work. And again, that's Adrian's stuff. Let me go back one. Chris, great work, and especially if it makes anyone aware of the dangers, I'm totally for it. Well done.
Yep.
Adrian's in the chat room, and we're going to go on. Adrian has shared with us his latest project, and you can see there, as I always say, I love when Adrian posts because he shows us the original source image that he's doing it, and then his engraved or laser imaged final result, which I'm not too sure about this one, but I've got a sneaky suspicion it could be masonite with white house paint. If not, Adrian, feel free to inform us in the room. But you can see he's definitely dialed in those results. And you know, one of the things I want to point out, if you look at the guy on the left-hand side, on his checkered jacket, you can actually see where the light has fallen off kind of across his belly, but going up his chest on the left-hand side. You can see that light difference? And then you go and look at the result that Adrian's dialed in, and you can actually still see that in the laser image. And that is awesome. Well, we'll ask him.
Really curious to know that.
Well, one of the things that's really interesting about that as well is that Lightburn has created an image adjust layer now, which gives you a much better simulation to what the result's going to be. So you can actually go into that, in that image, you can choose different modes, you can change gamma, exposure, luminance right across. Again, I don't know if that's the case. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I messed this up because I didn't think that Dom was. They're telling me they didn't hear you. So I tell you what we're gonna do. Let's go back and let me. Oh man, this is. There is sometimes you end up doing this live and it's just kind of messed up. Sorry. Do you want to go over again and explain the question to Adrian, and we can ask him live?
Yeah. I guess the question, look, Adrian's work always blows me away. So it's incredible. I'm just curious whether, Adrian, do you use the Lightburn image adjustment tools, or do you do all your adjustments in something else?
Okay, that led me into what we were talking about before, which is that Lightburn itself has those image adjustment tools now, and they have a really good simulation. If you're looking at it as a preview, sometimes it doesn't look as good. It's kind of, you got to zoom in and you see more the mode output with no real kind of graduation. But if you use the layer adjust on an image, you get not the original image and then your that's backwards because my camera's backwards, but
It's really good.
way.
Yeah, you get both of them.
And then you get them side by side, so you can dial in all those different options to get the image you want. Adrian is probably hearing it now, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna keep my mind on keep on adding you into these new scenes. But Adrian, let us know when you can, and we'll move on to the next example of some amazing work. And that's Mick. Mick's been around for a little while now. He's also exploring images, especially laser images. And you can see here, this is, I believe, wood. It's not, it looks a little bit like a tile, but he's actually working with wood here, which is sprayed with white paint. And you can see, what I love about that is you can see the gradient of the wood, especially in her cheeks on the side of her face. But then you look at the rest of it and you can see kind of, I you know, if you didn't tell me, I would have almost been mixed up and I would have thought this was just a laser tile.
It's really neat. Detail is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot
he's got that dialed in.
A lot of
even the highlights in the hair as well. That's just that's really neat.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are now trying different ways of being able to pull out images in the sense of using the active ingredient in the white paint by itself. So again, it's a really interesting way of refining this process, and it's pretty amazing. Mick, great job, man. Really great job. Now, before we go any further, I do want to share what Adrian's answer was. He does all the adjustments using ImageR. Using advanced settings, it gives me a preview of what it looks like in the material. Adrian, I definitely invite you, if you've got the time, to check out those image adjustment tools in Lightburn. I know that I did a video on it, so if you want, I'm more than happy to share that link with you. I've got a feeling that, you know, Lightburn is definitely getting up there when it comes to being able to dial in those settings just kind of natively within the software itself. But if you want to use ImageR or use a plugin for Photoshop, because I know that a lot of people were doing that, more power to you. It's great.
Yeah, I guess it just comes down to what you're comfortable with.
Absolutely. There's more than
I've always wanted to try that Lightburn setting. I've always played with it, but I've never actually used it for an image yet. So I was curious to see whether that's what Adrian was working with.
So for Adrian, he gets more success in ImageR. So, you know, awesome. And I know that that's done, that service is done by people who are constantly working on it and creating kind of those presets so people can replicate those sort of results. Awesome. Thank you, Adrian. All right. Peter, who's also with us live here. Peter has made this, I believe it's a skeleton, a jack-o'-lantern. What's the stop motion? That's him. Gosh, it was A Nightmare Before Christmas, I believe. And this is a light box that Peter made for his wife, which is really, really cool. And, you know, again, some amazing kind of work there, Peter. Peter's very, very talented with his projects, which is very, very cool. John is also sharing with us, let me see if I can get this up, that adjustment layers he found in Lightburn work really great, which is awesome. Cool. Zululand's asking why is it called Dackley Labs? I know last time we saw what was going on. Maybe we can if we got a little bit of time, we can jump into that. But you can see he's laughing, so I don't know what's going to happen. And Stuart sharing that it's a really nice light box. Our next one is Rebecca. Now, Rebecca Jones did a fantastic job here. She took some raw leather and engraved it and then stained it with a whole bunch of different stains, or I'm not sure if it's paint or if it's alcohol paint, but the result here is absolutely phenomenal. This is just some amazing work. I haven't seen anything like this before. And again, I just had to share it because it was just some incredible work. Have you seen something like this before, Dom?
Not color like this. This is really, really interesting. We've seen some people do some work in leather where they engrave, and then they.
Becca's with us too. Sorry, I didn't realize. You know what? I'm sorry, Becca. You're live, and I didn't realize because I saw your name on Facebook. So the creator is with us live, and she says these are EcoFlow leather dye. This is phenomenal work. This is amazing.
Where can I order one?
There you go.
God, it's awesome.
Is this something that you sell, or is this something that you just make for yourself? It is really, this is pretty amazing stuff. And, I just never have seen a result like this. I've seen some leather Usually it's tan beforehand, so when people are actually kind of trying to color things, it doesn't come out as well. But this is phenomenal, absolutely
Yeah,
phenomenal.
this is I like this kind of mixed media. You know,
Yeah.
you have a tool that does something, and then you have a paintbrush, another tool, and you have paint, and you have some talent, and you put it all together, you end up with something really amazing.
So Becca's sharing that she sells these on eBay. Sorry, on Etsy,
Cool.
not eBay. Etsy. Gosh, saying the wrong things today, Gil. But yeah, that's amazing work. It is really, really phenomenal. And again, it's something really unique. And you can see that Becca's actually using, you know, like as you said, multiple different mediums and talents there. And you can actually see the amazing brush work to get those gradients in there, which makes everything pop. It is
Yep.
something that's incredibly stunning, and I'd love to see more of it. Becca, if you want, I'm not sure if you can do it here, but if you want to put your link in to send people to your Etsy store, by all means, I would love to be able to support someone who's creating such amazing pieces. So yeah, that's amazing. Let's move on. Becca's saying she's humbled by my words. No, I'm humbled by seeing the examples of your amazing work here. You know, that's one of the reasons why I do the live stream and trying to build the community the way it is. There are lots of laser people out there, and you know what? This is actually something I wanted to talk to you about, but we'll get to it before we move on. At the end of this, there's a lot of people who go out there and they're like, "Oh, did you make that? Can I have the file?" And it's like, and I think to a certain degree, it comes from like the 3D. You know, when 3D printers came out, because it took so much time to create a file, you know, the people who created the first 3D printers that you could just buy and put on a desk, I could just imagine
Yep.
you get home and it's like, what's that? And it's like, it's a 3D printer. It's like, what's it make? And it's like, nothing. And they're like, get it out of the house, take it back.
Exactly.
So they had to have examples that you could kind of print off, but it's also created kind of a bit of a atmosphere of wanting to be able to replicate things, because this is the strength of all this technology. With a 3D printer or a laser, you can repeat the job. And sometimes you go into places and you're just like, seriously, guys? Like, you're just going to ask straight off? Like, you
It's
know, the power is learning how to do it yourself.
Yeah, look, but it is overwhelming. You know, sometimes you just, yeah, sometimes it's not really about designing it. It's about what you end up with.
Right.
So, you know, all these sites like Thingiverse and Instructables, they're really good because you can go there and just grab something and make it, and then you end up with something. You know, you don't have to spend weeks or hours or days creating it. So I can understand it, but I hear what you're saying about, you know, especially when it's someone's art.
Yes.
Uh,
I
you know,
think
when it's someone's art, that's a real personal thing, and a lot of time, you know, Rebecca spent a long time doing that. I bet, you know, a long
100%.
time.
100%.
And just to give that away is, you know, it's
I think Peter
it's one of
said.
it.
I think Peter says it right there, and that is that creating it's half the fun. And I really, that's definitely how I feel about it. For me, I will go and see even commercially made things, and the first thing I go is, yeah, I could buy it, and I'd probably enjoy it on my thing. I'd rather make it and go through that process and learn something myself. So,
Yeah.
now one last one, and this is the return of someone very near and dear to myself, to me, and I think to everyone else, and that happens to be the one, the only. Elaine. Elaine sent me her latest piece of work, another gift for a grandchild. In this case, it was her, I think, 12-year-old grandchild that she's been away from because of the lockdowns. And she had this amazing video here, which is just very cool. You can see all the detail right here. And yeah, she definitely
Yeah,
did paint the inside. It's just an amazing piece. She did say that it took a little bit of work when it came to, I think it was like 12 layers, and she said it took forever to be able to stick it together. And again, you know, it's just, she does some amazing work. She's absolutely inspirational. She's took that laser
Elaine,
technology and just ran with it.
yeah, like we've lost track of Elaine. She must have been busy making this. That's why we haven't heard from her.
Absolutely. So
But wow, fantastic.
it is just incredible work, and it's just so amazing to be able to see what's going on. It's always just so thrilling to be able to see. And I think that,
You know, one thing we can all learn from Elaine is that she never gives up.
no,
Like
absolutely not.
she never gives up. You know, I don't know how many versions of that she made, but yeah, she'll just keep going until, you know, she gets what's up here into something physical, you know. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And again, part of that as well, which is what I love about it, is that, you know, Elaine, I would love to have her on the live stream, but I think she's a little shy, and that's fine. But it's always nice. I see her name in my email, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, and some of the conversations have just been like, I'm trying to do this, you know, I'm stuck. Do you have an idea? And then, you know, a week or 2 weeks down the track, something incredible turns up just before the live stream this week. She sent me another project, and I was just like, wow, that is like incredibly awesome. So I'll share that next week. It's always great. Now, unfortunately, I've got the little pop-up turned up, which gave me us a 10-minute warning. So let's jump into what we are going to discuss. And that happens to be laser support surfaces. I would love this conversation to be a little bit longer, but it's not the case because the provider for our link has kind of changed things up. But the Emblazer originally came with some silicon mats. I had to remember the name of it. These silicon mats that had become standard, and now there's an option to use something else. Do you want to talk a little bit about why you've gone that way, and what you guys, both of you, what you've noticed the difference has been when it comes to supporting your material that you're about to cut in the laser?
Yeah, look, we originally went with the silicon mat, which if you've got a machine, there's 4 mats that have a kind of a rippled surface that the material can sit on, and they were really good for.
Not to cut you off, I'm gonna bring it up, but I'm gonna bring you up in a second, so I'll let you know when. So these are examples of the silicon mats on the top, and you can see some of the results there. And now Dom's also in, so we can continue.
Cool. Yeah, so the silicon mats were great because they serve their purpose. They're easy to clean. They can be moved around. They're nice and light, very, very resilient, easy to maintain. But you know, there was a bit of a compromise with how the material behaved on the underside. What would happen is as your beam goes through your material,
yep.
When it hits the other side, it generates a little bit of heat and some fumes, and they would tend to discolor the underside of the material.
And you can see that in that top logo
yeah.
that you've got. That if anyone's been using an Emblazer or an Emblazer 2 or even an Emblazer Core using these mats, it was standard practice to be able to go out and actually take some sandpaper and just remove a little bit of kind of, it's not burning, but it's almost like a scorching. From what I understood, at least my own experience was that as the laser cuts through the material, there's a collection of energy or in the form of heat that may kind of discolor the surface a bit.
Yeah, so with the cutting tray that we introduced a few months ago now, it's made up of very, very thin stainless steel honeycomb mesh. So
let me show them that, and I'll also add you back in here. Sorry, my friend. This is
okay.
I'm learning the hard way to have done that, but there you go. There's your mesh, and you're on it again.
So the beauty of this is that mesh is very thin. So whenever the laser passes over a top surface of a mesh, the mesh is so thin that practically zero energy bounces back upwards
awesome.
to the material. So as a result, it gives you a much cleaner cut. The other good thing about this tray is that there's a gap underneath the tray.
Yep.
So as fumes are released from the underside of the material, they get cleared away from the gap underneath the tray. So in a nutshell, it just gives you a cleaner surface to cut with. And it's an added bonus. It's got a little alignment section, so you can push your material up against the left corner.
Yep.
So you can set up your 0, for your material. And we also have released, which probably I'm not sure if you have a link to it, but we've released some little parts that you can cut out and push into the material to hold your material down.
I don't have that on hand, but I did see them just recently. So they're almost like holders. So if you've got a small piece of material, you can actually link them into the honeycomb so they don't move around, which again is really, really handy. Now it's
Yeah, and
it's
if you've got material with some curve to it as well,
yeah,
they
some
help
bowing.
just flatten it.
It's really interesting. Now we do have a question: is the honeycomb stainless steel magnetic? Is the question that's coming from Zoolander?
No,
Zululand. Sorry, why am I saying?
no.
Look at me. I'm terrible with names today.
We did look into that, but magnets would be very ineffective on that type of shape. And also, whenever to make stainless steel magnetic, you have to add iron to it. So
Right,
iron actually increases the corrosion of the material. So
make it rust.
we decided not to go with that, and we decided to make these little clips that you can go to darklylabs.com/projects, and you'll be able to download these little cutouts that hold it all in.
DJ Rock and Rob, good old Rob. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you so much, my friend, for dropping in saying stainless is not a ferrous material, so it is not magnetic, which is kind of interesting. You know, when it comes to diode lasers, one of the things that that happens with the cheaper kind of introductory lasers is that they don't come with a surface. It's usually a frame, and then you've got to use whatever you've got at hand as a surface. A lot of people use wood. A lot of people use a whole bunch of different things. I like this honeycomb kind of structure. I've seen it in higher end lasers. It's really a very cool accessory. I've got a sneaky suspicion it may even become a standard going forward. But what I've noticed since I've been using it is there are times where I will use the silicon mats because they will actually create a better situation with the material that I'm using. And there'll be other times where I'll pull the mats out and I will use the honeycomb support. And I love the fact that you've got the ability to be able to, it's not like one or the other. And in fact, there's a third option that I've used quite often, and that's also the mag clips, which will actually hold that material right off your base surface, clip it in place, and that's great when I'm actually cutting pieces out, especially small pieces. So all of those things are, options that you can use. I don't believe in just one option. Use what works best for you in the project.
Yeah, look, I've actually personally I've stopped using the mag clips because the tray just gives us such a good result.
Okay.
And one of the beauties of it is that you don't have to have tabs in your parts, because they won't fall through.
Right. That's great too.
Unless they're really tiny. So, but yeah, look, they're all out there. Just choose the option that works best for you.
Atomic Jared says that he definitely wants one of those honeycomb things. Go off to speak to this guy right here at Darkly Labs. I'm sure he'll be able to supply one for you. Rock and Rob saying that his beautiful Samsung refrigerator is now a massive surface area for stainless steel. The side of my refrigerator is literally littered with magnets and pictures and all that sort of stuff. That sounds like a lot of fun. Peter's also sharing with us that he alternates between his CO2, between a honeycomb and a black steel plate, which has no reflection. Very smart.
Interesting.
And John also saying that he got an aluminium grill from Super Cheap Auto, which is a company here in Australia, and he uses that underneath with a whole bunch of magnets. Aluminium reflects lasers, laser light as well. Anything shiny does. So you got to be careful with that as well. And Mike sharing us that he uses the mag clips, but needs to get one of those honeycomb trays. Light reflection from the honeycomb has given me grief on several acrylic parts. That's good to know. I know that Rock and Rob uses a CO2 laser, so it's kind of one of those things where I wonder what the power output is. I know that in the case of the diode lasers, you probably could get away with it a little bit different, but again, you got to be careful. Now, Dominic, I hate to say this, my friend, but I've got a countdown here. It's going to kick you out in less than a minute, which is a real shame. Again, one of the problems we were trying to solve before this episode went to air, but I'm going to take care of it next time. If for whatever reason we're cut off, I apologize for that. Guys, it's always a pleasure to have Dominic here. I know we rushed through that a little bit, but it is really cool to understand that the surface you're placing your material on is really critical to get a better finish. And whether or not you're protecting your surface with masking tape, standoffs like the mag clips, this honeycomb support, silicon mats, whatever it is, if you've got a laser cutter that doesn't have a base, it'd be really, really great to be able to have an idea of what it is you want to cut and maximize the result out of your laser. And I think that's really what I wanted to have this discussion with you about, which was, hey, you know what? Your surface matters.
Yeah, and it does. And also really quickly, it's there's a safety aspect to it as well. Without a base, your laser will be possibly
drilling
cutting through.
Drilling through. I know a few people who kind of scorch their desks that way. Dominic, I don't want to cut you short, my friend. You know you are welcome here anytime, and it's great to have you on here. I know that it's going to happen again. I've got a feeling that this screen is going to disappear in it. But before that, Dominic, thank you so much. Next time, we want to hear what's going on with the upgrade for the E2.
Okay.
And we're waiting to hear the big news. We've been waiting for years here. Hey, it goes. I knew that was going to happen. Oh, Dominic, that was more my fault. Oh, I see. I tried to stretch that out as far as I possibly could. I wanted him here. You know what? I think that's one of the things that I'm going to have to take some of those donations and kind of be able to it seems that Zoom has actually changed their whole thing. It used to be if it was 2 people, you can go as long as you want. And we found out very, very early on, and that's why there was a bit of a delay, but that's all kind of cool. It's always good to have Dom on here. And in fact, I'm so waiting to be able to go and do that. Dom, thank you so much, man. It was fun for me too. And again, I apologize. And he was going to talk about the new diode laser. I know. Isn't that terrible, Mike? Like he did it on purpose. He was going to spill the beans. He promised that he was going to do it here. Look at this. Mike's laughing at it, smiling at us. He was going to tell us all about it. But you know what? We'll hold that for another one. But it was great to see him. And I know big thank you, because I know that he was traveling all around Australia and just got back from the trip that he took up to Queensland, and who they was talking about. So it is awesome to be able to have him here. It's great to have these relationships and also work out what's going on. Yes, we'll save that too, Dominic. He was going to show us his recent project too, which is awesome. His project, he showed it to me before. Tell you what, maybe if everyone wants Dominic to come on to the next stream, everyone put in next stream into the chat room live. Let's put some pressure on Dominic to come back. Next showcase. No, he's got to show it live. He's got to show it live. So put in next live stream or NL. Everyone put in NL and flood the chat room. If you're going to do that, I will do my best to see if we can get Dominic here live yet again. And we'll see see, there you go. Look, there you go. Next stream, next showcase, next stream. Dominic, you NL, Rock and Rob. He's up at 3 a.m. You can't let him go. Becca's also in here. Next stream. Oh, look at this. Peter, all the way from the other side of the world. You know, right now, Dominic's pulling his hair out. He's like, no, I can't do it every time. Man's got to working hard for us all. So it's kind of cool. Guys, before we move on, and again, let me just say thank you so much to Dominic. It's so nice to be able to talk about lasers, and especially diode lasers and processes with someone who's in the industry and being able to do that. Let's move on to the good, the bad, the ugly. Some material, and this is my chance to get YouTube to notice me by whistling something that sometimes pings the algorithm. Let's see if I can do it now. I'm going to keep my eyes open and see whether or not I get a email next tomorrow. It usually takes 12 hours before they tell me that I'm in some sort of copyright violation. But we're going to talk about a interesting piece of plastic that I realized I didn't set up. We talked about Coroplast last time. That's terrible. How did that happen? Let me see what is going on. Let me go to the second one. No, I screwed that up royally. That's kind of fun. How about this? This has been technically the worst laser live stream that I've ever done. Paul, I will definitely do that. We'll get it to get him to explain Darkly Lab's name last time. Rock and Rob, I recently took a position at Intel. Cool. I'm now there. I'm now at work during the live streams. Awesome. I feel you, brother. I'm glad that you got a job. I totally know what's going on. But I do want to say this is kind of not my standard technical thing, especially when I blew it. I'm going to keep it for the next live stream. I apologize, guys. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for being here. it has been one of those nights where everything kind of fell apart, and then in classic live stream, live whatever form, I kind of got a little kerfuffled. We lost audio. We even lost the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's kind of funny, but you know what? We got here in the end. Guys, I want to thank all of you for being here. It's always great to be able to hang out with you all and talk about what I'm so passionate about. I'm going to join. We're going to be back here in 2 weeks' time. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining us. Love it if you could come and join us on the Facebook group. The link is just below. And with that, I'm going to invite... Oh, everyone's been so kind. Thank you so much, Stuart. Thank you so much, man. And John, I know it's all good. I hold myself... I want to always present the very, very best that I possibly can be. And you know what? If it's not real, it's flawless. Oh, Peter, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And what I was going to say is, between now and then, go make something amazing. Go share it with us. And we'll see you on the very next Laser live stream. Guys, you're awesome. Stay safe out there and keep making something amazing. We'll see you real soon. He says, and then he goes, where is that last thing? Guys, I'm terrible today. We'll see you soon.